Please go and subscribe to our channel Pyramid Times, where all these webinar recordings will be available, as well as upcoming videos with various masters in both spiritual field and new age spirituality. Enlightened entrepreneurship will be available there. Please go and subscribe to this channel. Take a moment. Webinar details will be posted onto our social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Do follow us on all these social media. So once you have subscribed, I will just introduce today's speaker, Bindu. She is closely interacting with Pyramid Times from the day one. And Bindu is a chartered accountant by profession and working in IT as a change manager for the largest retailer in UK. She is also a certified transformational life coach and also NLP certified life coach, law of attraction certified life coach, emotional intelligence life coach, and also cognitive behavioral life coach and happiness life coach as well. She has done a couple of certifications like Theta Healing, Ho'oponopono. She extensively trains people on meditation. And today's topic is going to be on alchemy of abundance. With this, I invite Bindu for today's program. Welcome, Bindu.
Yes. Thank you, Veena. Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful intro. I forgot a few of them, but you added on to my profile. Thank you for that. So today we are going to learn about how we're going to create abundance in our life and how we can welcome abundance, because abundance is something very misunderstood by most of the people. So abundance is something that is very much misunderstood. So, people think abundance is money, abundance is wealth, but abundance does mean something else. So let's go through them. Let's try to unlock what that means to everyone in terms of abundance. So abundance is a sense of plenty and infinite possibilities. So when we talk about abundance, abundance means having something more than what you need, right? That is what abundance is. So abundance is the faith, when we say faith, what that means is the faith that, you are having enough and you are going to receive enough of what you want is abundance, having that faith. And attitude, what attitude means is having that positive mindset of, that I do have everything in life. I'm very happy with what I have is basically what that means by abundance. And being healthy and happy, because, you're just not only, having a good health, but you have much more than that. You're fit, you're happy, right? So that is what basically abundance means. So what is prosperity then? So prosperity basically means that, it's a return value of something in your wallet. So prosperity is something which is tangible. So that means something you can touch. So like, for example, money. Money is prosperity. Having a good house is prosperity. And then, having a good car is prosperity. So it is actually a outer wealth. That is not something you could actually feel, but you can actually touch. So prosperity is something which is outside of you, whereas abundance, when we talk about abundance, is actually a feeling. So you are really happy with what you have. You might not even have everything, but you feel happy. That is what abundance is. So it's the flowing of the love, joy, gratitude. This is what abundance is. It's that inner wealth. Always remember, don't get confused when people talk about abundance. Abundance is, people really get confused talking about abundance as wealth. They are very much, used very synonymously, but it is actually not synonymous. It's very much different. Like I said, abundance is that inner wealth that we possess. So then when we talk about abundance and prosperity, does every person in the world who are prosperous, who are rich, are abundant? So basically abundance, so let me tell you, most of the people who are rich might not be feeling abundant. The only reason is that because they're driving from they're driving from fear, because they are thinking that, even though they have enough, they are driven from the source of fear. I'll tell you all about it as we go through. So this is what I want you to remember. So you might not be rich to feel abundant. And let me tell you, if you are actually abundant, you will invite prosperity into your life. And I'll tell you how you can invite prosperity. But people who are prosperous and rich might not feel abundant. So there is a big difference. So this is the basics that we need to understand. As we go through the session, we will now understand how we can actually, welcome that abundance and prosperity into our life. Because when you have abundance, prosperity will always follow into your life. Okay. So this is something, a quote, which I thought is very apt here. Abundance is just a state of mind. If you look at lack, lack increases in life. See what you have and then abundance increases. So what this quote basically means is abundance is actually a mindset. It's not actually a physical thing. It's a state of mind. So you're feeling joy, happy, and feeling of gratitude. That's not something you could actually buy, right? So it's a state of mind. You got to feel it. That's when, because how can you feel that? We will go through in the next slides. But then this is how, when you start feeling abundant in life, you will always welcome prosperity into your life. So just bear that in mind. So now, the most important thing, let me emphasize so much on this: universal laws. So when life is a game and we just have to play it. So in order to play the game, so if you're playing any game, for example, you need to really know what are the rules of the game. So if you don't understand the rules of the game, what will happen? Obviously, you would lose, isn't it? So universal laws is the most important concept that I really want you to really understand. People might say, oh, I'm doing so many things in life, but I don't attract abundance, or I don't attract prosperity in life. It's because there is a reason. You got to understand the universal laws. What are universal laws then? Just like the law of gravity, I'm sure you all understand what is law of gravity, right? Newton's law of gravity. Just like the way we have Newton's law of gravity, there's so many laws that a universe are abiding with. So if we understand the universal laws, that's when we will be able to really succeed in what we are actually doing. So law of abundance. So there is a law in the universe called law of abundance. So what does law of abundance means? So basically, law of abundance means that there is infinite resources in the universe for everyone that is required. So basically, I have read it somewhere that, if we have to share the resources, if you look at the picture, what does that tell you? It looks so beautiful, right? You can see greenery, you can see the rainbow, you can see the birds, and it looks so abundant and rich. Here you don't see money, right? You don't see money, but when you look at the picture, what does it tell you? It does speak a lot, right? It gives you, for me, when I look at the picture, that gives me a sense of happiness, a sense of joy, a sense of gratitude. So what is that making me feel? That it's because I'm feeling abundant inside me when you look at that picture. So what the universal law tells us is that there is infinite possibilities and infinite resources in this world that is enough for every one of us. So there was a research that was done. So if you have to divide the resources that is in the universe, every person in this world would get something like, 7 million dollars in cash and 3,000 square feet of, of space. So if you can imagine, that much of resources are available in this universe, that is available for all of us to use, right? So there is no doubt that why people don't feel abundant is because of their mindset, and we will discuss a little bit more on that as we go through. So again, this is a beautiful quote by Dr. Wayne Dyer, one of the great writers and authors and a philanthropist. He says that abundance is something that's not acquired. It's something that we tune into. So again, this is something that we tune into. Just like we looked at the earlier picture, I feel this is so abundant. But here I'm not looking at money, cash, building or house, but this is abundance because it looks beautiful. There's so much of greenery. You see a tree full of flowers, that's more than what's needed. You see water, there's so much of water there, and beautiful sunshine, a beautiful rainbow, and beautiful chirping birds. That's what I'm seeing in that picture. So if you agree this is abundance, it is so easy to welcome prosperity into our life, just like, when you have that abundance mindset. Okay. Okay. So now the next law in the universe is law of energy. What that means is everything is made up of energy. So what that means is everything is made up of energy. So we as human beings are 99.999% of energy and 0.00001% of matter. So we are very, very little matter, and we are mostly energy. So what happens then? So what does that mean if it is energy? So I'll tell you. So if we are energy, what that means, we can change anything with energy alone rather than working on matter. We can, again, I'm going a little bit into quantum physics, but we can change anything with energy. So there's some more laws that govern this. So law of attraction, I'm sure you all would be very keen, and most of the people do understand law of attraction. So what is law of attraction? So law of attraction is again a law in the universe that whatever you are thinking will be attracted to you, right? So imagine your mind, we are so like I said, we are energy. What that means is we are made up of electromagnetic energy. Our thoughts are electric, our feelings are magnetic. So we human beings are spiritual beings who's come onto this earth planet for a human experience. We are electromagnetic beings. If you understand that, I'll explain a bit more about it. So we are electromagnetic beings. So when we talk about law of attraction, so we attract because, as I told you, our thoughts are electric in nature and our feelings are magnetic in nature. So what that means is when we send a thought into the universe, when we're thinking of something, it is going out, and then it brings the events back into into us, which are because we are magnetic, right? So electromagnetic, we are electromagnetic beings. So law of attraction, so most of the people think that, okay, law of attraction, I'm thinking something really positive, so I'm going to attract that into my life. And most of the people fail. And because law of attraction is mostly, again, I'm talking from the teachings of one of the greatest master on this planet, who is Abraham Hicks, who is the pioneer in this law of attraction. So what law of Abraham Hicks says, most of the people does not understand what law of attraction means, because there are some other laws in the universe that go very much hand in hand with law of attraction. I'll tell you all about it today. So you should be really clear by the end of the session today that, you understand what law of attraction is and how you can actually create what you want in life. Okay. So law of vibration. So what is law of vibration? Everything. So when I told you in my previous slide that we are electromagnetic beings and our thoughts are electric, right? And everything is energy. Everything in the universe vibrates at a frequency. So when you think of something, so your thoughts are actually vibrating in the universe. How does that vibrate? It vibrates at a frequency. Okay, so nothing rests in the universe. Everything in the universe vibrate at a certain frequency. The next one is law of frequency. So when you're thinking of something, everything, depending how it is, what kind of thought you are thinking, is it a good thought or a bad thought, everything has a frequency. And when these thoughts vibrate into the universe, what happens? You will actually, when these vibrates into the universe, it will go and match something of the same frequency, and you will manifest something into your life, a circumstance into your life. So, for example, I'll give you an example to clearly understand what it means. So, for example, you are actually worried about something, or you are actually a new driver. Okay, you've learned your car driving, and you are actually learning to sort of driving on the road, but you are really nervous about driving. So think of it. So your thought is based on fear, right? You're thinking, okay, I might meet with an accident because I'm new to driving. So when your thought basically is, you put that into the universe, it is actually vibrating at that frequency of fear. And then you will see that, you would see something like an accident. It could be a small accident, but you will actually see something that is coming your way. So that is why we have to be extreme. I'm giving you this example for you to make you understand how important your thoughts are. Everything in the universe vibrates, and everything vibrates at a frequency. Okay, now, so this is a scale of how your thoughts vibrate, because your frequency, the frequency, when we talk about frequency, it is measured in hertz. Hertz is a measure of frequency. See, this is written by Dr. David Hawkins, and from a book called Power versus Force. He's an amazing author, and I'll tell you a bit more about COVID as well. He recently launched a research paper on COVID as well. So let's look at this first. So when you see here, you are saying that love has the one of the highest frequencies. Love, joy, peace, enlightenment, they are the highest frequency things. And when you look at shame, guilt, and fear, see, they are vibrating at a very low frequency. So we have to be very mindful of what we are thinking. So when you're sending a thought into the universe, it will vibrate at that frequency. And now COVID-19. So Dr. David Hawkins recently released an article talking about COVID-19. COVID-19 has a very, very low frequency. So apparently, somebody is vibrating at a low frequency of shame, guilt, fear. So if you see if you look at the scale, shame, guilt, fear, and grief, all these are very low frequency vibrations. So if your mind is at that state, he has said that people vibrating at this low frequency will catch COVID very easily, because COVID is something that vibrates at a very low frequency. I thought this is a very apt example for you to understand how our thoughts create a reality, because you've got to be very careful of this law of vibration. How are you vibrate? That's why when you read spiritual books, they talk about always vibrate higher. What that means, you vibrate at the at a high frequency, which is love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. So this is something I really want you to remember. Okay, and now, law of deliberate creation. So when we talk about law of attraction, that is something very, as I said, is easily misunderstood, because these two laws, the law of deliberate creation and the next law, is never considered by people. That is why people say that law of attraction doesn't work for me. That doesn't mean it doesn't work, because they don't know how to actually use that law to manifest their dreams. So what is law of deliberate creation? So what that means is, giving a thought to anything in is creation. So you want, for example, you want to buy a new car, okay? So you are thinking, okay, I want to buy a new car. So that is actually a thought you are giving to create something. But then, if you really want a car, you've got to really, really, create a thought of having that car. So what that means, you're sitting and closing your eyes, and you're visualizing that you are driving in your new car, and you're feeling how this new car is, experience of a new car. So this is called law of deliberate creation. This is something Abraham Hicks, one of the greatest master in the world, talks about. This is what you should be doing, in order for your law of attraction to work. Law of deliberate creation is something you have to understand. Just by thinking, okay, I'm going to buy a new car, but then you will have another thought in your mind, oh, I don't have money to buy a new car. So you are actually thinking in from two corners. You're thinking from a corner of abundance, at the same time you're thinking from a corner of lack. They can't go together, so your law of attraction will fail. So you have to really understand this law, the law of deliberate creation. So that means you're deliberately creating something. Yes, giving deliberate thought of anything you want to create, that intention. Okay. So law of allowing, and again, this is something really important to understand. Law of allowing. Law of allowing means, so for example, uh, allowing anything into your life. So you now understand that your thoughts create your reality, right? You understand it now probably, or if you didn't know about it before. So whatever incidents that happened to you right now or is happening to you right now is all because of your thoughts. Okay. And you can't say to them, for example, you had some bad incident. You can't say to yourself, oh, I don't want that bad incident. You can't. That means you're resisting. This law of allowing will not work for you, because you have to allow anything the universe is giving you, because this is your own reality. So there's something called your inner world is a reflection of your outer world. So what that means is, when you meet people outside, you might think, oh, I don't like them. It's not because they are bad. It's because you are thinking that way. So imagine, this is again a law of, it's called law of reflection. I didn't put it here because I didn't want to confuse with too many laws. So if you imagine yourself as a mirror, right? What you're seeing, your world is a mirror. So what you feel inside is reflected outside. Okay, so it is called law of reflection or law of mirror, right? So if you feel happiness, you think your world is a beautiful place and you love everyone. When you see, you will be meeting people of the same nature. You will see that everyone is so good to you only because you are actually creating it. It's not because they are creating it. You are actually creating it from within. So this is again an important thing for you to remember. When you want to create something in your life, you got to really clean everything from inside. So law of allowing is something for you to really remember. So you allow anything that's coming to you. You can't say no to it. For example, if you have somebody at work who you don't get along or you don't like them, you can't say and drop your vibration, because what did we say before? You have to vibrate at a high frequency. That is in the state of joy, happiness, gratitude. So when you are thinking about somebody at work who you do not like, and then what is happening to you inside? You're dropping your vibration. You're feeling a bit of fear or guilt or shame, anger, all this, you're dropping your vibration. So it's very important for you to understand this law of allowing. Most of the people does not know this, and that is why the law of attraction fails. Okay. So yeah, again, with regards to health, yes, I mean, this is something again which I'll be telling you how to kind of do that. I mean, so okay, let's I think probably clear that. So chronic pains and all these again. See, so there's a beautiful author, Louise L. Hay. So she talks about why these pains come to you. So when we are not happy within ourselves, or there is some kind of blocks that we actually create in our life, this is because all these blocks are suppressed into our body from many years. Just it doesn't happen overnight, but from many years, all these blocks get suppressed, and then it will turn out into a disease or an ailment. It can be small, it can be big, or it can be anything. So again, one reason or one tip or tool if we suggest everyone is meditation and self-love. So I will talk to you a little bit of self-love. Self-love is a concept, but just give you a little bit of understanding what self-love is or what it does to you. how you can kind of, love yourself, because most of the diseases, does happen when we lack self-love, because we are not actually giving that attention to our body, right? So, just imagine, like, if there's a small child, okay, who wants your attention, and you're busy doing something, you're not being attentive to that little child. What does he come and do to you? He comes and, pulls you or does something, creates a little bit of a chaos, isn't it? So to actually get your attention, right? In the same way, diseases also come to us because we have never treated our body, in the way it should be treated. We never spoke to our body. Did we ever, say thank you to our fingers, legs, or, the pain, wherever you have the pain? Did you think we, or it's general, it's for anyone really, did we ever thank our body parts for, giving that service? Because the body is a miracle machine. It is working 24/7, doing many, many, many duties that we are not even aware of. While we are in sleep, it's doing so many things, right? But did we ever express that gratitude to our body? I personally didn't until I came to know about it. So in the same way, people, lack that knowledge, and that's why. And again, these elements come to us because, we are not very clean from inside in terms of the attributes, like, having a bit of jealousy or greed or anger. Anger is one of the most dangerous things. When we have anger and we have so much, you can't forgive somebody. What happens? You have so much rage inside your body. So just imagine, I think probably you didn't attend my previous session. So I spoke about sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. So where, we are actually working on the fight or flight mode. That means we are always in the survival mode. You are rushing, you're doing so many things, and you're never giving that attention to the body. So that is why one of the reason Louise L. Hay says that most of the diseases to us come not because of genetics. It's not at all to do with genetics. Even diabetes or, knee pains, anything doesn't come to us by genes. It comes to us because of our mind, because we have never been, never had a chance or never acknowledged our body for the services it's been doing to us. Now, the most important thing is abundance codes. So abundance codes. What does abundance code means, or what does a code mean in general? Any, maybe you can probably chat or type. Code can be a symbol. I'll talk about it in the programming or the IT knowledge basis. Code is something we write, isn't it? We write code to run a program, right? That's in IT. So in the same way, abundance code, what I meant by that is we have a program written, or we are running on a program from her childhood based on abundance. So I'll tell you what they are and how we can unlock them, because we have to reprogram in ourselves. So that is what, to have abundance, we have to write the program that can run, that can create abundance in our life. Okay, so the first one is roots of scarcity thinking. So if you can imagine, so, most of the people, or, most of the times what happens when, while growing, most of the people, they, from childhood, they would have heard from the parents, money does not grow on trees. It is very hard to earn money. You have to really work hard, or you have to really study hard in order to have a successful life. So, these are the kind of mindset we all have been brought up by, isn't it? Those are the roots of our thinking, isn't it? So this is where the scarcity thinking has been developed. So you cannot actually, unless we reprogram in ourselves, we cannot create our abundance or welcome abundance into our life. So money, again, most of the people think, okay, money does not come easily. You have to work so hard. These are the things we would have heard from our parents. And then there's a lot of competition for jobs. You have to be on the top all the time. This is, I'm sure you all would agree, these are These are the things, especially we coming from Indian culture, we would have heard about all these things in life, right? So this is why we are operating on fear, because we're thinking there's so much of scarcity in the world. If we don't work hard, we can't get many. And then, there is only few jobs available. So, I have to work very hard to get that. So what happens? So you are programmed in such a way that there is no, there is very limited resources in the universe. That's how you've been programmed. But then what is the law of abundance telling us? The completely opposite. So there is so much of resources available in the world, which is there that we need to tune into to get those resources, right? So if you think about it, there is so much of air around us. Do you think that air is very scarce? You can't get air? No, we don't think of it like that, right? There is a lot of air in the universe. In the same way, resources also, there is so much of resources available for us right under our feet. This is what it is. The gold mine is just under our feet. All we need to do is we just have to tune into that. So that is why I spoke to you about law of frequency. What does that mean? You got to vibrate at such a frequency. So it's like a radio station. You would just you would basically, when you tune your radio, you would match that frequency and you could connect to the channel you want, right? It's the same way. We got to tune into that frequency. So this is where now it's the time for you to think, why are you thinking that way? Why are you thinking that, I can't create abundance in life? Where are the roots coming from? So this is what I mean. This is a belief system. In other words, it's a belief system. So, we have so many limiting beliefs that, very you need to have a good degree in order to get a good job. Or, one example, you have to have really good score to get into the right universities. So these are a sort of fears that we have developed. But if you look at some of the most famous people on this earth, they never had university degrees. Or, Bill Gates was one of them who did not actually have any university. Likewise, there's so many people we can talk about who did not have any sort of formal education to be those most successful millionaire entrepreneurs and visionaries. They didn't have any proper education, but they succeeded. So we need to come off that belief system first off. That's when we can actually, create abundance in our life. So abundance, obviously, again, does mean not only money. It can be friends, food. It is everything more than what you need.